It feels good to be back, and it feels fresh again. We've had a bit of a break while Toby did that show, but we got the songs together for the album, which was most important.
Yeah. So was that a wait in reality, because Toby, mother over there, was doing Cabaret?
We couldn't get him out of the dress.
Yeah. Did you see him very often in the role? I saw him 3 times. Yeah, 3 times, and I thought he was. Absolutely, it could have been written for him.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah, he was okay.
We were really proud of him, actually.
Yeah.
It was,
How did you feel about it? Were you happy with it too?
Yeah, I loved it. The cast of people, and it was a fun show. I mean, a great role to let loose every night.
Yeah,
it was good fun.
You had the pleasure of working with Henry Zepps.
Yes, Henry's a great guy.
Yeah, Henry told me once. He said that one of the most important things about theatre is the sort of thing that I'm doing now in Cabaret, where one can not only find the character but allow it to build as you go through each performance. And I said just recently to my wife, I think this may be one of the greatest roles I've ever been honoured to have presented to him. And she said, well, yes, but maybe, it was just a situation where you're the only person in Australia who could play it. I said, well, please don't say that. But come to think of it, maybe that was the... he loves an answer, doesn't he?
He does.
I asked him a question on GMA on a Monday, and I got the answer finished by about Friday.
He's not short of a yarn.
No, but I tell you what, he was also terrific in the show with Judy Kennelly. So where's the material from, boys? I'll ask Michael.
Well, we've actually, Andrew and I have written a lot of stuff on the record. We've actually got an original, because the whole album has a bit of a Bee Gees flavour to it. And we actually got an original song from the 3 brothers wrote, but never recorded, which was fantastic.
What's it called? What's
called Love Is Blind.
All right. And what's the one you're doing for us this morning?
It's called When You Say Love Me. It's the new single, and it was co-written by Darren Hayes, actually.
Terrific. Well, we'll look forward to that. We'll have a chat in just a few moments' time and ask Toby more about his theatrical achievements. And would you do it again?
Oh, for sure.
I don't mean Cabaret specifically, but anything...
I mean, something came up that I felt... I mean, that was such a challenge for me to get up there and do that, and I think that's what excited me about it. So if there was something else that came along, I'd certainly consider it, but...
with no disrespect to anyone, the opening night in Melbourne that I went to, there was a terrific buzz, with no jokes here, a terrific buzz about your performance, because everyone was aware that you'd come from a band, from a group, and you were really stepping away from that. Well, no, but not someone who was recognised for his ability in theatre, but within 5 minutes, all of a sudden, there was just this feeling, The little bloke's going to throw up. OK, we'll talk more in just a few moments' time. But apart from human nature, Marinda doesn't prepare an elephant for us next week. Please welcome officially, after we thank Nolan, human nature, Andrew, Michael, Phil, and Toby. I suppose the advantage is, if you take a bit of time in getting stuff together, which you have done in this case, the chances are you're going to finish up with good material, Phil, aren't you? Because there's been no rush, obviously.
Yeah, that's exactly true. That's exactly why we took this break. We wanted to feel like almost like a second debut album, when a group makes a debut album, they tend to have a lot of time to do it, and then after that it can tend to feel a bit rushed. So we did want to take time, but try not to tip it over into taking too much time. Sure. And I think we've kind of hit the nail on the head.
Andrew, just tell us again the genesis of Human Nature, how it came to be, you 4 guys getting together.
Well, Mike and I are obviously brothers, and we all went to the same school together, and it was just, we were all in the choir at school, and I had an idea one day. I actually thought it might get us all girls if we were in a group singing together, but it didn't work at school because we were kind of the daggiest guys in the whole grade, because we went to a rugby school, so it wasn't the coolest thing to do.
Did you play rugby?
No, Toby played 1 year, didn't you?
Yeah, no, ago.
Oh, so the whole 4 of you were at the same school?
Yeah, we were at the same school together.
Right.
And so we used to perform at school assemblies and end of concert things, and I think that we were called the 4 Tracks then, but the nickname for us was the 4 Skins.
Yeah, really.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
That's how much they loved us.
Yeah. Right. So where did Human Nature come from?
When we all left high school, we decided, what do we want to keep the group together, and what do we want to do, and we all decided, we wanted to try and get a record deal, and we just knew the 4 Tracks wasn't the coolest name, so we thought we'd just have to think of something else.
And you came up with
Human Nature, come up with that. And
the thing that amazed me when you first hit was that it wasn't just with kids. I mean, the kids loved you, but it was all demographics, and that's not... I don't reckon you can really spin for that. I reckon that people have got to come in and decide they like what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously for record sales and things, you're going to go for the younger people. But people in my age group and you know, some of the older boys on the floor and so forth, all of a sudden are mad keen about human nature.
That's good.
So it's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there are aspects of what we do that you know, many age groups sort of gravitate towards. It's the harmonies, and I guess as people we're not, you know, living the hard life and, you know, full of angst, and we're very accessible, so...
Oh, kidding aside, did you find the life in theatre very different to touring and so forth and being with the boys? Because I guess working in a group, as you do, even, it doesn't matter, you know, how great you are individually, there is a safety factor in, you know, sharing the blame type thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, actually, I guess we, you know, became so close as a unit, and you sort of do rely on other people to sometimes help you get through if you're not sort of feeling on your game.
But at theatre, a different situation, isn't it?
No, I mean, I think that's how I felt in the theatre, you know.
Oh, do you? Oh, right.
Yeah, because you could sort of, you know, throw things away a bit more, and it's all happening so fast, particularly in Cabaret. It was all a very, very quick show, so...
We tend to blame Toby for everything that goes wrong in this group. Right. So...
I recall seeing you blokes at the Sydney airport, and I think it was Toby who was carrying all the luggage. And this is just after it was announced that he was going to get into Cabaret.
The pack horse.
Well, if you want to do it, then you've got to make the... you've got to pay for it.
Yeah, but also, I mean, he's the butch one, isn't he? I mean, he's done theatre, sure,
well,
but...
He had the nipple glitter in that show. It was pretty butch.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, he also played rugby, you didn't. He was out there kicking with the best of them. I've got some old footage of Toby at home with the rugby. Not there. That was fantastic. The sort of thing, I suppose, also with a group such as yourself, you have proved that obviously not just an overnight sensation or a 7-day wonder or whatever. I mean, you're back now. You've got the new album out, and around the office, you know, our office, people are excited that you've recorded again. So, I guess really you're here for as long as you blokes want to be here. Are there any other individual ambitions from you three that you'd like to do that doesn't include the others?
Thinking maybe a magic show I could do, no. Or a whistling album. Thought about that as well. No, I think, you know, we always...
Do you do magic?
I do.
Yeah. We know you don't do comedy, don't you? But is there anything you'd like to do?
No. No, I mean, at the moment we're just, you know, really focused on the group, and I think the group would always be something that we can come back to, you know, because I don't think there'd ever be a point where we'd say, you know, oh, let's all go our separate ways. We may do individual things, but we'll always come back to human nature as the...
Is it difficult for you two, with two brothers? Because, I mean, blood is thicker than water, or doesn't that enter into it?
No, not really. I mean, Andrew and I have a very, you know, tight bond there, especially, and that's especially evident in the songwriting. But I suppose Toby and I have always thought that we're not the world's best songwriters anyway, so that's okay.
But you do write, don't you?
Oh, we'd try to.
Yeah, right.
Now and again. It's like pulling teeth a little bit, though.
Yeah.
It's easier for these guys. But, no, even amongst the four of us when we're on the road, it's almost like there is a kind of kinship amongst the four of us anyway. So, yeah, we all get along really well, and no, there's no sort of separation of us.
Yeah. Do you know, I asked this question one other time you were on the show, and I got 4 answers. Is there a leader in the group? I mean, is there a designated person if there has to be a finalist? Well, look at me like that, Andrew. You're looking at it's almost like, you know, but who makes the final decision if that has to be done?
We've always, you know, discussed it amongst the four of us. I guess, you know, I kind of speak more on behalf of the group more often than not, but it's never kind of like, you know, well, this is the way it's going to be, guys. It's very much a democracy. We got great management, and we talk with him, and you know, it's always a combination. But maybe just, I don't know why I often speak my mind on behalf of the group.
It just comes naturally.
Yeah,
and obviously no problems with the other guys. And just seeing some of the early stuff that you blokes have done, I think it just it brings home again just the impact that you had when you first broke out, and you know it continues today because people, even though you haven't been recording, people were still intrigued to find out exactly what is happening with human nature and when's the new record coming out. Well, the great thing is that it's out now and it's available, and and you're doing signings all over Australia. I'm told that you know where they. Can you...
Got a couple coming up this week.
I beg your pardon, Andrew was about to answer that. No.
I should have run it by him beforehand.
Go for it, Toby.
We're at High Point on Friday at 7 p.m.
Yep.
And then up in Sydney on the weekend, Roselands on Saturday, I think at midday, and then Mall Music at Warringah Mall on Sunday at about 1, I think.
You can visit the website if you want any information about human nature, and there you go. If you visit that, you'll find out about the signings and also all personal appearances and details on the on the record and the whole deal. Look forward to the song. Suffice to say that it's terrific to have you back on GMA. Always look forward to seeing you.
Great to be back.
Thanks a lot, Andrew. Thank you. Thanks, Mick. And thank you, Toby. They're bloody good actors, Tina. They haven't spoken to each other in 7 years. Right after this break on GMA.